has been murdered from Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas, and we still don't have his body. So this is unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable what has happened to so many of our soldiers, including our own son, Richard Halliday. And there is absolutely no doubt in our mind that there is a criminal network going on down there at the border in borderland in El Paso, Texas, and harming Juarez, and just as they are harming America. It's a Texas U.S. Mexican border problem, and we should absolutely have leadership that we can count on to be down there to give us the absolutely the best in defending our Texas Constitution and the United States Constitution, to protect the public there and into Mexico, because whatever happens in El Paso absolutely spills over into Juarez, Mexico. And that includes, any kind of blessings or any kind of criminal activities. So this is really important to have really good leaders. And what do we have? We have Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks, a usurper, a trespasser of the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office. He absolutely, where's the big hook? You got to take a big hook around his waist and pull him off that office. I need to probably make a meme pulling, it's kind of like the one with Heather Wilson, pulling her out of UTEP, because we are just inundated with really failed leadership. And, very easy. Not all of them are easy to pull out of their seat, that are really bad leadership. We have to stomach it sometimes because they're legally in that office. But Bill Hicks is not legally in that office. He needs to be yanked really hard with one of those big old hooks, with one of those big shepherding hooks, right? Just yanked right out of there and put in handcuffs, because he is a usurper in that office. And he is really so much trouble, because we can't get justice in El Paso, Texas. And I say we because we are Americans. And whatever happens in Texas and whatever happens here in South Carolina, we are all Americans. And, we're supposed to be defending the Constitution. We're supposed to be living the Constitution. And here we have a usurper. And it's just mind-boggling. The crime, and that crime spills out into the rest of the country and into Mexico, and it's just a horrible thing. So I hope that makes sense, because just go look up Bill Hicks, and you can find Richard Halliday. Hopefully you'll see the memes. Hopefully you'll understand. And I want to make this very, very clear. They know, because prior to us finding out, it was already out there that Bill Hicks, is illegally in that position, and that the Secretary of the State in Austin is helping him, tamper with the timestamps. That she also is in big legal trouble. The Secretary of State that helped him do that. And the problem is that she helped him do that, but she helped him wrongly, because it didn't solve the problem, because he was supposed to be a recess appointment, and by the time they fiddle-faddled around with all their illegality, messing with federal documents and that, They didn't do it right. It became an in-session appointment. And, it took us, some studying to understand these open records, understand the complaints against Bill Hicks. And, once you spend a few minutes looking at the information, then of course you're like, what the heck is going on? Yank him out of there. Yank him out. And he's the problem of Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott is absolutely knows the problem with Bill Hicks, and he is allowing El Paso to suffer without a judicial system. Okay, because if you don't have a proper operating district attorney, a prosecutor of crimes, you don't have a proper active judicial system in that area. So El Paso, their judicial system is broken. And it is really Governor Abbott that is allowing that to happen, because he absolutely could do something about it. He could say, look, I appointed you against my better judgment, because probably a favor from one of the donors, right? One of the donors. But, okay, I'll give you a chance because my donor thinks highly of you. Maybe I'll give you a chance. But hey, wait a minute. Why were you even put in there? You are rotten to the core. What were you up to? And now you don't even follow the rules because you didn't sign the statement of officer. You didn't take your oath legally. You didn't hand in your packet to the Texas Senate to be looked after. You just usurped without going through what everyone else has to go through to become a district attorney. You decided that you are just going to be criminal and usurp the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office. I mean, that's what, if I was Governor Abbott, that's what I would say. And I'd say, and I have my guys right behind me here, that's going to handcuff you and you're going to be tried. I've seen what you guys doing, messing with Texas. You don't mess with Texas. And they're messing with Texas. And then I'd march right on over, and I know he's in a wheelchair. Okay, whatever. He can, march on over there in his wheelchair, and he can say to the chief medical examiner, and, with the power of the governor's office, because, a governor in the United States, in his office, in his state, is one of the most powerful people in the country. They're absolutely legally powerful. And that's why I'm saying it's the office that's giving him his power, right? It's not his physical ability. It's his office that is giving him his power. And he can go right on over to that medical examiner's office with his guys and, ask some questions there. And have Mario Raskin Ortiz arrested. He is in the country illegally. He came into this country as a guest on a visa, and he violated it. If you let someone into your house as a guest and they violate that position as a guest, then you kick him out. He needs to be kicked out. But no, what do they do with Veronica Escobar? I mean, there's like conflict of interest there. I think there's some nepotism or something. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me, but there's something going on between Veronica Escobar and Mario Raskin Ortiz. There is some connection, because why in the world would she allow him since 2014 when he doesn't even have the best record? I mean, this is what I'm saying. These aren't even the best of the best. These are just criminals, Bill Hicks and Mario Raskin Ortiz. And to have him botch every case, and have Bill Hicks botch every case, then El Pasoans have no they have no justice system. It's an outrage. It is a total outrage because for our son's case, we absolutely need the best of the best district attorney and the best of the best uh, chief medical examiner. With all of this case um, having 15 plus agencies, some of the worst criminals, if you go look at the worst criminals, they didn't have 15 agencies. They had maybe 5, maybe 6. But Richard has 15 agencies. That's how big this is. This is like a Fast and Furious. This is like a Iran-Contra. I think this is a little bit bigger than Iran-Contra. And they absolutely, because Richard's case involves the Walmart mass shooting. Absolutely. And we saw that recently with Danae Katzen. And Danae Katzen is connected to, I think it's not her mother she goes out bullying with. I think it might be Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia. Maybe that's who she goes out bullying with because Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia has a history with Richard's case to target Richard's case, and Danae has a history of targeting Richard's case. So maybe someone, just thought, oh, well, that older woman with Danae, maybe that's her mother. But I don't think it is. I think maybe it is Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia because she's the bully. She's the con man. She has this history of this. This is what the witnesses are saying. And that is exactly the connection to 3905 Bliss Avenue that connects Richard's case to the Walmart case. And also this family cop, is that Melendez? Is that Jesus Melendez, the canine cop that did a traffic stop at midnight in a parking lot to frame a whistleblower Fort Bliss soldier, Richard Halliday? Is that why some of these people can act with impunity, can just do, take advantage of the people there in El Paso? Is that what's going on? Because Danae Katzen, all through these years, she's just, harmed one person after the other. And so this live stream is called The Real Fit Fam El Paso. And why? Because it was the Real Fit Fam El Paso that took on her story. But it also took on Richard's, and it made us think about everything because we've contacted them in a very kind way to say, please remove that story that Bob Moore wrote, because Bob Moore can't be an independent journalist when it comes to our son's case. Okay? Because he is a party to our son's case. He has tampered with and obstructed justice in our son's case. He has targeted family. He came on my live stream. He has targeted family. He goes over and rubs shoulder with those that are superimposing Richard's head on top of a dead executed Texas inmate's head. I mean, this is the type of man that Bob Moore is rubbing shoulders with, the type of people that Bob Moore is rubbing shoulders with, and then not even answering us. We've been trying to contact him so that he puts out the right story, and he does it, and he only uses a little piece of Richard's case. He only uses a CID part of Richard's case. Well, CID is debunked. It's botched because Tavita Nusa is a prime suspect in the murder of our son. And Marlon Soto, these CID agents, Marlon Soto, when he found out that through a official whistleblower complaint, by a judge that Tavita Nusa was giving unauthorized access to our son's file so that they can mess with it, so they can tamper with it. Um, Marlon Soto didn't even call for an investigation from the inspector, the internal affairs. He never called internal affairs, and he should have done that at the very get-go. So I didn't check to see if I'm on. There's my lovely son's face. Okay, there you go. All right, I can see comments now. So yeah, this is our focus now. Um, of course, because we're just filling in all the blanks. We've got, all of all this evidence, and when it comes to the media, that is being filled in. And I think we had a real breaking news. Um, and you can tell me, out there, you can help with this breaking news, because it's really important to understand the whole situation with the media. Um, because, Bob Moore being a party and interfering and obstructing in our son's investigation, this is a U.S. Army soldier. He's messing with a U.S. Army soldier that has been recently declared deceased by the U.S. government. And he is absolutely defaming our son and our family, saying that I don't have any evidence. Well, let me tell you, we have so much evidence, and we've been putting it out and writing paper, giving everyone the evidence. We even gave the SB4. We even gave the SB4 federal case evidence with an amicus brief that gave them evidence that Bill Hicks was a usurper, a trespasser, illegal, a criminal in the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office, null and voiding the entire office, everything that they do, botching everything that they do. And when they got that information, so there has to be some kind, it's like, I have to say this on a live stream, hoping that people are going to share it. We're not monetized or anything. This is purely for the people of El Paso, for our son's case sake, because how are we going to get accountability and justice? How is the Walmart, how is any case there going to get accountability and justice if the justice system there in El Paso is broken? So I'm just telling everyone that there needs to be some arrests being made. And you would think that my first arrest would want to be Dallas Hart, right? The murderer of my son. I believe he is the murderer of my son, along with, this is the allegations being made with Lonnie Hart and with Tavita Nusa. I believe that Dallas Hart is, I think right now and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think he's part of the Real Fit Fam El Paso. I think he's one of them. With this Dallas Hunter, Hudick, right? Two Dallases, I don't know. You tell me. And then, of course, the Jules Toganon Chan, right? and then with also, I think David Candelaria has his hand with KTSM and the Real Fit Fam El Paso. But the registered agent is Jules Chan. That's the registered agent for the Real Fit Fam El Paso. But it looks like this Dallas Hunter Hudak and Dallas Wayne Hart also have a hand in it with David Candelara. And, that's like breaking, shocking news, right? That's breaking, shocking news because, you know, so the two that are spreading the terrible information using only the CID report when there's 15 plus agencies, right? And we have ongoing investigations, and the Army's latest is the casualty file, and that was given to us privately, not publicly. And that was not given to Bill Hicks. And so, his assessment, his assertion, he should absolutely get our point of view. And, it's telling that a cover-up is going on. That's what this means. So you can be, frustrated that there is not justice going on, but you don't have justice going on when you have a usurper as a DA. You don't have justice going on when you have an illegal in the as chief medical examiner sucking $438,000 a year for botching cases. You don't have justice when that's happening. So, you would think that the first people I would want to be arrested would be Dallas Hart or Tavita Nusa or Lalani Hart. But you know what? It really is Bill Hicks and Mario Raskin Ortiz. And, and I would say, I would absolutely say Representative Veronica Escobar. And, there, these, and I would say Clem Coward. I mean, there's, they are the ones that created this terrible atmosphere and crime that have hurt not only Richard, that are not only responsible for the murder of Richard, that are not only responsible for trying to hide what whistleblowers report and then retaliate against whistleblowers like Glendon Oakley Jr., like Asia Graham, right? Like Vanessa Guillen, and so many more. They have an obligation to care, not to walk on and participate in a criminal network for self-enrichment and brag and parade around your criminal activities. And so, it has hurt so many more people. And when I went over, probably 36 times or more to Juarez, of course they cried on us. And it was COVID time. I didn't care. I'd hug them right back. I'd pray with them whenever appropriate. And I'm so glad that that I just that I'm just not callous, that I care about these people because I know that I care about my own son. And, to have this kind of botched, absolutely criminal justice breakage, uh, broken down, you know, and causing so many more murders, so many more rapes, the missing children, the extortion. I mean, look at what the people were saying, what Danae and Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, well, I shouldn't say Rosa Maria Garcia, what Danae and her husband were doing, or Danae with her mother, going to the neighbors and extorting from them. That, you know, the bullying, there's just so many different types of crimes here. And there's no reason why Danae should be walking the streets right now. She has a long criminal record. She's convicted criminal. Absolutely. She should not even be walking the streets. And she's so young. How much damage is she going to do in the next 60 years? Right? Think about all the damage she's going to do. She absolutely can't walk the streets. Um, and when you read the comments, wow. And I have lots of screenshots that have been sent to me over these years. And because, at the beginning I didn't believe it. She's very good, Connor. She really is. And or I'm just very naive. But I don't think I'm not as naive. No. And because I know that Bob Moore is absolutely foul, absolutely a foul man, absolutely uh, a foul fraction of a man. I would say that. And, for going after a soldier where he doesn't even have the information. And it's just a terrible thing. It's so bad. So maybe one day El Paso Matters, they'll have to shut their doors. Maybe that'll happen soon. And then to think that they are in cahoots with the real Fit Fam El Paso. It's leading people, they go on to social media for an alternative news, and then what do you see uh, that could be? Well, we know it's KTSM. David Candelera has a hand in that, and then to have to ask people if Dallas Hart is part of it with this other Dallas. How many Dallases are there? Dallas Hunter Hudak and Dallas Wayne Hart, part of. Who would have thought that those names would have been coming up like that to be the founders, to be the owners, whatever. I don't know. I think that they should let us know, because that would explain why they're trying to direct the narrative, the false narrative of Richard's story. Why they want to direct, the false narrative of so many other stories, because just because they're doing it to Richard, or that they're doing it to Richard's case, and that doesn't mean they stop there. Look at Danae. She proves that point. She keeps going with her criminal activity. So if they can try to direct the narrative with false witness statements, using botched, proven botched um, rhetoric, you know, that absolutely they're hurting more than just Richard or just me or whoever is their next target, right? Because they're thieves. They're absolute thieves. So, and yeah, and a criminal network of thieves. So that's the big news that I don't know if it's called breaking news. It's a uh, for El Pasoans if they know, because we know that Dallas Hart was in fitness. Was he in fitness with Dallas Hunter Hudak, and Dallas Hunter Hudak? If you're out there, you can answer those questions because what we're getting is you have a really strong hand in this social media, the Real Fit Fam El Paso, along with the registered agent, which is Jules Chan. So I think that is, and I think David Candelaria, who also tried to manipulate Richard's story, targeted, what is his deal with Danae? What's his deal? How is he related? How is he friends? Is he in business? I don't know. All I know is he rolled out the red carpet for her to manipulate and redirect, um, try to anyway, attempt to. And we didn't fall for it too much, but a little bit. And we had to stop and turn back because of this fraud of trying to redirect the search for our son. So a lot of that was going on. A lot of that. Please share this because we want to find Richard's remains. And, we will give you new breaking news again. It's because it seems like it's happening every day. Everything's breaking. And I do have some things in front of me that, we just need the night to think about and process. And we'll be sharing that shortly. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back. I don't see any comments, so I will be back tomorrow, God willing. And thank you for your prayers. And yesterday I forgot to mention that it was the ascension of Jesus Christ, the day that we celebrate that. And, I posted on it, but I didn't mention it during the live stream. And, I just think that that's so important because, and I did mention this, it's the light. It's the light of Christ. It's the light of our faith in Christ that burns off these really dark fogs of criminal activity. They just can't stand against it. And, nothing that they do can stand against it. And so we have to stay true and we have to stay courageous and we have to really understand the power that we have of children of God um, to shine that light of Christ on this very wicked criminal network. And I sound a little bit like my priest, but I just think the ascension, he's saying, I'm going to send you the comforter. You're not going to be alone. And I've given you the power to become the sons of God. And, it's just so powerful that it needs to be mentioned. That this is a spiritual battle as well as a physical battle. Because it's kind of like the Constitution, the beauty of the Constitution. Um, and I'm not a huge. I cannot claim to be a big scholar of it all. I'm always going back right now and looking at it to remind myself. But I do know this about it. It is about the land and the people. It is about the land and the people. It's the physical world that we live in that has to be governed by a justice system. And that's what it is. And for people to mess with our justice system, that have put in an oath to protect our Constitution, the very land and the people. See, that's what they're violating when they violate their oath. The land and the people. And, so I think that it is a spiritual war, but it is also a physical war. A physical battle, a spiritual battle, but it's a legal battle. It is a battle for justice. To have a justice system, to have the Bill of Rights, to have the ability to speak, to have the ability to have a representative, to advocate. So I know that that's like a tangent from the ascension of Jesus Christ, but he said it. He said, we will not be alone. I will send you the Comforter. And the Comforter, the Holy Ghost, to me is every word that proceeds from the mouth of God is law, the sacraments, and creation. Not limited to that, of course. So, yeah, that's a huge power. And they don't have a chance. The criminal network doesn't have a chance, y'all. They only have a chance when we're fearful and we let them do this. But they don't have a chance if we stand together. So, and stand against them. And we don't really even need that many. We need the brave. We need the courageous. We need the few. The band of brothers. Right? What is that? From St. Christian's Day, the Band of Brothers, and then the movie was made called The Band of Brothers. Henry V's speech. I think it was Henry V's speech about the Band of Brothers. Just a few. And those that haven't joined in, when the day of victory comes and we grow old, I'm trying to paraphrase this beautiful speech, and we grow old, and those that weren't with us, they will say, oh, I can't live because I wasn't there on that day of victory, But we, Band of Brothers, we will always have that victory, something like that. I have to dig that up and because it's so moving, his speech. and so true. And Team Find Richard Halliday has been that band of brothers. We just would not even be here without all of that help that we have gotten, all of the information, all the watchdogs, all of the evidence, and we are really making strides. So, and I think that day of victory is approaching. With that declaration of Richard's death, that changed everything. That was a huge, huge sign that we have done a good thing. And the casualty file proves that the CID file that's publicly posted, that's how horrible these people are, was just trying to drive a narrative and botched it. Absolutely. First grade work. So, and then Bob Moore wants to put out that first grade work. And the Real Fit Fam El Paso wants to do it too. And then others don't. Others don't because they know it's first grade work. Right? Task and Purpose didn't. They knew it was first grade work. But the Real Fit Fam El Paso did. And there's a connection between UTEP or KTEP and KTSM and El Paso Matters. And now with this, the Real Fit Fam El Paso, I think we understand the connection. And please, everyone, let me know if you know that Dallas Hart, along with this, so his name is Dallas Wayne Hart, along with this Dallas Hunter, this is another Dallas Hunter Hudak. That's there in El Paso. Along with the Jules Chan, along with David Candelaria, is part of the Real Fit Fam El Paso. And that would really explain why they want to drive such a false narrative about Richard. Yeah. Okay, thank you, everyone. God bless you, and I will be back. I will be back tomorrow, God willing.